Hey everybody, Scott from What You Seek, and today I'm going to be looking at the Seaholm Offshore Diver Blue. Now, Seaholm is a newer company. They started this whole endeavor back in 2013. They're headquartered here in Austin, Texas, but their watches are made in Switzerland. They have a couple other dial variations of this. This is the blue version. They also have a gray and they also have a black version. And Seaholm, they have three main things or tenets, if you will, of the company, of what makes their watches a little different. One is a water resistance. Their watches are all water resistant to 200 meters. The second is anti-magnetism. This watch here has an iron capsule that the movement sits in, and that provides about 7 times the protection of a normal ISO anti-magnetic watch. It also, the third thing about Seaholm watches is they are shock resistant. So the movement in here, this is an automatic mechanical movement here. The movement here is mounted on a viscoelastic shock mount. Now you can go to Seaholm's website and they have a white paper detailing the research that they've done and testing with this shock mount. They worked with different companies to come up with just the right shock mount that is suitable for a wristwatch. But this is designed to survive 10-foot drops onto wood. So those three things really add up to a very robust tool watch. And as you can kind of tell by the look of this, one, yes, it's a diver, but two, it's a very legible tool diver. So let's get into some of the specific sizes on this Seaholm Offshore Diver Blue. So width of the case here, we have a 41 millimeter width. We have a height of 14.5 millimeters. We have a lug width here of 50.5, strap width of 21 millimeters. The material is 316L stainless steel, and it is brushed all over. So you can see the brushing here, we go vertical, and then on the front here we have brushing that goes, north and south along the top of the watch here. It is a solid case back. Let me open the bracelet here so you can see in. So you can see it's signed Seaholm anti-magnetic, anti-shock, 200 meters, 660 feet. Nice brushing on there. We have, I think this might be the only polished bit on the case, just this little edge here. So the crown here, let me zoom in, see if we can get a little more detail on the crown here. So it is a signed crown. So it says Seaholm around this little bevel here. We have a nice grip to it, no crown guard. So it kind of has a vintage look to it, without the crown guards and the 369. It's picking up design cues throughout history of some tool watches. Screw down crown, very easy to manipulate, stop the movement. It's a hacking movement. Easy to screw this in each time. So you would think that more manufacturers would get this right, but they nailed this one. So we have rotating bezel here, unidirectional bezel. It is 120 click, and it has a very nice feel to it. Very smooth, very positive. Everything lines up where it should. So very nice bezel. No complaints there. It does have a crown here that you can see. It's a box crystal that is a double dome there. So we do have optical distortion around the edges. And so sometimes I have to look, did I line this up right on the minute marker or not? Because you get that distortion in there. Let's move on to the dial here. So the dial has a grain pattern to it. So if I turn it away from the light, you see how it has this nice, rich black look to it. So in lower light, when you look at this, you just think that it's a black dial with the indices here. But once the light hits it just right, you can see the vertical graining on it. I like that. I like a dial that surprises me once in a while. So give it some character. And I think this gives it some nice character, gives a robust, more metal feel to the entire watch here. The indices here, so we have these markers here for 369 and then these markers here for the hours. The cool thing about these is they are made with superluminova and they glow. I mean, there's a three-dimensionality. I don't know if you can see that on the 9. It's not just printed. It is actually, I don't know what it is. It's just that luminova material. So it does have a killer lume to this watch. I'm really like how we're seeing more and more watches with some of this lume, and it makes it, well, fun. Even in daylight, when I call it the day lume, when you look down and you see your watch glowing, you walk into the grocery store or something. But it's very useful in the evening time, no doubt about it. So the second hand, I think the second hand is made out of the lume material itself. We do have a sword hand here for the hour that is lume filled, and it has some polished edges there. And then we have this pencil here for the minutes. And I like the dimensions on the hands here. So you can see the minute hand going all the way out to this minute track on the exterior of the dial, and the second hand going even farther over the minute hand, and then the hour hand just touches over the markers for the hours. I like those little touches like that, make it, I don't know, it's the details that get me excited. We do have a date window. I'm going to move the time here, and I am not a fan of a date at 4:30. Usually it is a deal breaker for me. And most of the time when you see a date in this position, the date is turned, right? So the date disc would normally have the number working just perfectly at 3, but then it turns down in this position. Here, this date opening here, one, it's very small. So it's there when I need it, and it's not when I don't. So it doesn't take up from the design of the overall design of this, the 369, and then this large logo type material or shape here, the triangle here at 12. But when I do want to see the date, I can clearly look down there and see it. It's circle, and it's a black date disc with white numbers there, so that blends in with the date. I like that a lot. Bell & Ross does that with their watches, and I know some other manufacturers do that, and I really do appreciate that. We do have the branding here underneath this large triangle, Seaholm, and then we have their logo, the 3 markers, the kind of a chevron up top, a straight line, and then the reverse on the bottom, and that goes back to those 3 things, the anti-magnetism, shock resistance, and the water resistance. So the logo does tie into that. And then you get the repeat of that down here, the water resistance, anti-magnetic, and anti-shock. So let's get the Seaholm Offshore Diver on the wrist. So here is the Offshore Diver Blue from Seaholm on my wrist. For reference, my wrist size is 7 1/4, about 18.5 centimeters. Like I said earlier, it's a 41 millimeter watch in diameter, so very comfortable on my wrist. I did not find this to be too large in this direction whatsoever. Now, if you remember, I said it's about 14.5 millimeters. That is a taller watch. It is a sportier watch. It has that kind of a squattiness to it. I never felt it to be uncomfortable. Now, I wasn't wearing this with a tight shirt cuff or anything like that. This is a diver sport watch. So, but very comfortable. It does come on an oyster style metal bracelet as well as a NATO strap. The bracelet is user adjustable using screws. So once I dialed in the bracelet to be comfortable for me, it was a lot of fun to wear. And in fact, I had the watch probably a little longer than I should have. I really didn't want to give it back because I really enjoyed wearing it. I liked the feel. I liked the vibe that I was getting from this watch. I could put it on. I didn't have to worry if it was raining. And here in Central Texas for the last, it seems like 3 weeks, we've been getting nothing but rain. And I didn't have to worry about putting this watch on and just running out and going picking up the kids at school. The bracelet does have a this fold-over clasp here. We do have some micro adjustments on the clasp right in there. We have 3 holes we can adjust. It does have a diver extension. There we go, if you are going to be putting that over a wetsuit. And this is a machined piece in here. It's all brushed. Nicely made. It's a very well made bracelet. Positive locks with the clasp, never had an issue with that. So overall, wearing comfort with the Offshore Diver Blue, thumbs up. So the movement in this Offshore Diver Blue is a Sellita SW200-1 that is a mechanical automatic movement. You can hack it and you can hand wind if you need to. It has a power reserve of 38 hours. And like I mentioned earlier, we have a date here at 4:30, and that is a quick set date. So my takeaway with this Offshore Diver Blue, well, hang on, wait, there's more. A couple more things. So, you buy a watch and then you get this fancy box, right? And then what do? You take the box and you take out the watch, you're wearing the watch, you take the box, and it goes in the closet somewhere. I have a watch box where I keep my collection of watches. Seaholm did something a little different. So you notice this compass that's been sitting here. This is the top of the aluminum case that the watch comes in. So this little aluminum guy. Now I have quite a few microphones and some long shotgun microphones, or medium, that I think would fit perfect in this. And maybe perhaps you have something that would fit nice into this. And what they give you is a nice little leather watch roll. So you get, well, let me zoom out here so you guys can see this. We have, look at that, branded Seaholm. You get the NATO strap in here, and the NATO strap is nice. Let me pull this guy out here. So we have upside down. There is the Seaholm branding on there. A nicely made, very comfortable NATO strap, and they sell replacement NATO straps on their website. So if you're traveling and you want to take this watch with you, maybe you're going to bring this and you're wearing a dress watch or something, this guy just fits into here like so. Kind of push down on that, seal it up, and then you've got a nice little watch roll to bring with you on your trip. Okay, some final thoughts on this Seaholm Offshore Diver Blue. Well, I enjoy tool watches. I am definitely a fan of diver watches, although I am truly a desk diver. I've never scuba dived before. But I like the tool watch functionality of this company. The anti-magnetism, the shock resistance, the water resistance. I mean, that all really makes sense to me. It's a well-executed design. The loom is killer. And if I had to nitpick on some things, maybe the 21 millimeter strap width. I mean, you can get 21 millimeter straps. It's just not as easy or plentiful as, say, a 20 or a 22. The thickness, it is a little thick. It'd be nicer if that was a little thinner. But other than that, I definitely enjoyed wearing this watch. Now, this watch comes in at $1,995, and there is a lot of competition in that price range. So, I'm here to tell you about how it feels and some details about the watch, and then it's up to you guys to figure out if this is right for you. I will say that one thing that they're doing that's pretty interesting is they have a 3-year warranty on their watches, and that warranty is transferable. So say you get this watch and you sell it to somebody 2 years down the road, they can register that watch and they still have another year warranty on the watch. And with Seaholm, you get complimentary 5-year service. So you're getting close to that 5-year mark when you've had the watch. Send it in for a free service. So I think that's pretty cool. I think they're addressing some of the issues that us watch folks have, with the robustness of the watch and warranty and service and that kind of thing. So overall, I definitely enjoyed my time with the Seaholm Offshore Diver Blue. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, leave comments below, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.